On to Celtic though. John says higher quality players won't want to come to Celtic unless Champions League football is guaranteed. And he says that off the back of the story we've got online on Record Sport about Jamie Vardy apparently being desperate to sign for Celtic. He turns 39 in January. I don't know what you think, Pilch. I think he's a good player. I think he could do well for a season or two. But if Celtic really, at the end of the transfer window, are having to phone Jamie Vardy, something's gone wrong.
Yeah, I think Jamie Vardy's worth a year if he's not the only guy you're signing.
Aye, well put, aye.
Listen, you've seen what he's done down south. He's come at the end of his career. Is he good enough to still cut it up here? I think so. I think he's a type of character that would thrive playing in Glasgow in particular. Don't know if he'll get served many these blue wickets. Is that what he likes?
Red. He's a half Red Bull, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but funnily enough, I actually think in terms of Celtic playing, if they do get in the Champions League, playing away from home, you see he likes to run in behind. Okay, he's going to be 39 in January, but he's not lost a load of pace. He's still quick. And if you look at how Celtic play domestically, is he going to get that? Is it going to suit him? A lot of teams will come in, they'll play in the low block as it is these days, and Celtic need to break them down. Okay, we've seen Jamie Vardy score all types of goals, but it could be a very useful option to have, in certain games away from home when you need the game's a bit stretched and you need to get in behind. And we know he's a finisher. He would score goals in Scotland. He'd worth a year as a backup if the money's right, but I agree with you. If you're a Celtic fan and you're getting to deadline day and Jamie Vardy's the one, then you're going to be asking questions.
Aye, and look, I mean, Scott in the comments says Vardy's still quick, but he's getting on a bit. Obviously, he'd score plenty of goals. Also, Carol writes in, he's a lot less happy. He says Celtic end up signing Vardy. It's an absolute disgrace. Months and months and months to scout a suitable striker, and we wind up with Jamie Vardy. He turns 39 in January. But I do agree with you, Pil. See his personality. I think he's got like an away winner at Ibrox and jumping into the crowds written all over him. I think he would love it up here. And I do think he'd be decent for a season, but it just beggars belief a little bit. This transfer window for Celtic has been so peculiar, really weird.
He'd be good value for us, I tell you that. I'd be all for him here for a year.
Exactly. You've hit the nail on the head there. The other name that Celtic had been linked with is Calvin Stengs, the Feyenoord winger. This is a weird one as well because he struggled with a bad injury. I understand there he is playing against Celtic. Scored against Celtic a couple of seasons ago in the Champions League for Feyenoord. But he's 26, almost 27, so he doesn't really fit into that kind of young player mode. He's a Netherlands international, but he only managed 12 appearances in the league for Feyenoord last season. And from what we understand, I think the rumoured asking price is around €15 million, £13 million. I don't know if Celtic are going to pay that for a player who's kind of, like I say, on the verge of, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It just doesn't really fit their profile, I guess.
I get that, but then I suppose from Celtic's point of view, especially from the fans' point of view, not everyone can be a project player. Not everyone can be signed to sell further down the line. You do need players for now, and that's kind of been the complaint at Celtic. Maybe the last couple of windows, they're signing potential. They're signing guys who they're going to, that's Brendan Rodgers' thing is getting players, improving them, and then they move up the levels. Whether that's with Celtic, whether that's getting a big move and going down south or abroad. But you do need guys who are coming in and are ready. As you said, the price is there. Given he's clearly got a bit of pedigree. I mean, you're not a dud if you're playing at Feyenoord regularly. Good age. Reading between the lines, it wouldn't surprise me if this was maybe with a view to a loan deal. Feyenoord maybe say, right, he hasn't played a lot, he's had a bad injury. Let's get him out playing at a good level, get him back up, and then we'll bring him back next year and see how he goes. Celtic might be looking at, well, we'll look at his injury record. Again, we like his pedigree, good age. If he comes in and hits the ground running, we've got him on loan. Might be the case that there's an option to buy for a bit less than that, depending on how the loan goes. So, and if that was, the thinking, it would maybe make a bit of sense.